This tournament pack is looking a little bit interesting for the market. Make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out more us content. So Tournament Pack 2025 Volume 4 just got announced for Asian English. And this, I just had 10 Simorgh birds bought from me in like the last 20 minutes because of this info dropping. So I'm a little bit curious as to what people are thinking about this. But we're going to look at two cards off of this here in a second. But for those of you that know, this is for Creation Pack 10 and for Burst Protocol for the Asian regions. But Yamata Dragon is going to be a secret. Scrap Recycler, Gallant Granite. Scrap Recycler's an Ultra. Gallant Granite, Fortune Tune, and Simorgh are supers. Well, you've got things like Nurse Refugial, Plague Spreader, some lower rarity stuff coming in between here. I'm not, like, too excited about this, but the things that are kind of interesting to note here are Yamata Dragon and the Simorgh. So, Yamata Dragon, for those of you that don't know, this card is one of the cooler ones for the Spirit deck because it allows you the chance to draw 5 cards. Now, as we kind of sit here and we can plead ignorance, we've all been looking at Noah's cards coming to Duel Links, and we've all been kind of having the thought in the back of our head, wow, it would be a real interesting thing if we had some Spirit support come down later this year to support Noah. I'm still going with that theory. You can laugh at me all you want. I would not be surprised to actually see it happen. So we're kind of floating on that thought process here, that maybe we will see things like Hino Kagasuchi and Yamata Dragon actually coming back to life. Has this had any sales? You had one yesterday. Yeah, this card hardly moves. The thing is, you have a worldwide release version at $50. That's crazy, especially when you're looking at like the odd. Yeah, man, thank you. Thank you so much, Yamata Dragon. I'm so glad that we could see that. That's so crazy. And, like, this is just one of those off-of-the-wall cards. Like, DB2 Supers have value. I mean, they're like $7. You look at the Tournament Pack Rares. I mean, this is probably one of the cooler ones. These are still like $4. I think, yeah, that was probably the lowest printing for this. So, technically, we do have the reprint for Legacy of Darkness, but I'm not spending $50 for this garbage. That's crazy. Simorgh, on the other hand, half of the TCG's on a party boat right now, trying to tell me that this card can come back. I guess it technically can, because while we all sit here and we're like, well, you know, do we need to see some craziness? I mean, no, not really. My takeaway with the bird coming back is like Apex Avian in combination with this is, but look at this, people. This is just. Look on the 9th. Look on the 7th here. These cards, it is flipping over right now. Somebody just bought 11 of these on literally the release of this. Which, like I said, they just picked them up for me. I don't know if this card's coming back or not. I'm supposing Konami can bring it back at this point because it would make sense for them to want to try to push this and I guess get people excited for Wing Beast. I mean, we do have Radiant Typhoon that's getting its second wave of support, so I mean, it could be Konami going, hey guys, you know, here's an opportunity for you to, you know, kind of mess around with some of this stuff. Okay. Next up is Sophia, the Goddess of Rebirth. I made an entire dedicated video to this card yesterday because I thought that this was one of the coolest things that has happened in Yu-Gi-Oh! In years. Because Sophia was the gimmick card for a while. If you wanted to try to make a crazy video on it during, you know, the span of the 2010s, this was the crazy card that you would do combo lines to do all of these stupid little things to achieve. And it was a gimmick of gimmicks. And we all love this card. We all know this card's terrible, but now that we have a deck that can semi-access this, that could potentially board wipe the opponent, you gotta remember this is also unsearchable. Unless you're doing like small world shenanigans to bridge into it, which, I mean, you're welcome to. You can small world into this all day long. That's a lot of negativity that you're going to be having to kind of deal with. And also for a boss monster like this that you're trying to hard draw to be able to try to combo up with, it's a little bit crazy to kind of think about. But yeah, Secret Rares also coming in at $24. There are 4 listings of this card, and they've been selling. That's so crazy. I still cannot believe this card is moving right now. Fallen The Virtuous. So this is starting to get a little bit scary, guys. If you've not paid attention to quantities on this, we are floating into what I like to call the danger zone right now. This card is probably, I mean, you have a benchmark here at 99 of these. You've probably got a pretty decent safety net at that point, but this is all just what is sold in the last day or so. This is actually moving at a pretty alarming rate right now. I want to remind you that this card has turned out to be probably one of the most ridiculous powerhouse cards in modern era times, just strictly because this card does so much for the deck. Like, it's a free monster reborn, because I mean, after Fallen and White, you know, you are going to have that Ecclesia down, so you do get that. You get the ability to send, you know, when you're looping through these, you know, it does turn into one of the better cards. So I would very much keep an eye on this. You are very much riding a line that I don't think that this community is ready to see. You know, a modern era product having cards in it that are disappearing, that are super meta warping. Strange. I remember you, Lifestream Dragon. This is the Signer Dragon that people refuse to acknowledge in the journey of things, or at least, you know, Power Tool Dragon kind of gets axed for this. The State of the Common is a hilarious creature. I have enjoyed watching this card just flip around and not really know what it wants to do. You've had one sale on 1/4, 1226, 1226, somebody bought 2, so it's hilarious. Now we take out the limiter. I mean, this card is still, your mod play and light play copies are still decently floating around within the market, so there's that. And that's just for the common. I mean, ultras have a market price at $12. So you can buy a mod play for $9, heading on up to $12. So there are movements in that. But this card, for what it is, it's very, very off the walls. Oh, Light Imprisoning Mirror. So Light Imprisoning Mirror suffers from the, I got a lot of different print versions. Also looks like, here, let's take this off. I see you can get rares for $2 to $3. Looks like short print commons from Master Pack are still up there. Looks like the Magnificent Mavens Ultras are still coming in at like 40 to 50 cents. It's kind of crazy just to see versions of these rolling through the market here, because I don't think people expected this card to like actually be decent for anything. And then Heavy Storm DB2. Well, this is another one of those cards that the TCG absolutely swears is going to be coming by eventually. And at this stage, it just really is not. I don't know, man. The first ed, or excuse me, near mints are still coming in about $8 to $10 a copy, which is not terrible. But once again, I mean, this is a DB2 version. Fossil Dinopachycephalo. Well, you know, for a card that's banned right now, also for a card that has received some higher rarity printings too for its time, you are also playing with Light of Destruction. So, I mean, these are $89, heading up to $140 a piece right now. It is, I can't even say that this is alarming. This is to be expected. I do fully expect to see more of these high rarity cards over time. You know, go look back and look at first edition Dark Armed Dragons, for example. Look how much that card has been put up on a pedestal and how much it has done for the market. It is a pretty common thing to see. And then we have Blade Knight. Anything Duelist League anymore is just going to be worth something. That's the inevitable thing, right? Like, you take a look at some of these Duelist League cards, you're like, oh, hey, I can't believe it. This is worth it. Yeah, I can't believe it's not butter, too. It's crazy. But yeah, these are rolling around $5, $6 a copy. I don't know why you're surprised about this, man. This makes the most amount of sense to be seeing some of these cards just still doing their thing. So, what do we think about today's market? An absolute dumpster fire like usual? Yeah, it's not all that surprising to see. Please leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I'll see your beautiful faces back here in a day, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.